Hey everyone, it's Maria, and I wanted to just check in with you about how my Tome Topilathon is going, as well as share a couple of great books that I just read this week. The ones that I did finish are the short ones that I've been interspersing. For me, Tome Topilathon is going to be an April-long process. I'm fine with that. I don't believe in rules. They're more like guidelines, like I said before. Jane Eyre is coming along swimmingly. I'm really enjoying it, and it's been fun reading along with Krista and just sending messages out every once in a while. I'm not as far in as I would like, just because, well, I'll tell you in a minute. I'm also not as far in with Van Gogh as I would like, but these are both phenomenal books. I'm really enjoying them. The only reason I have not gotten farther is because the other things I've been reading have been so good. Ken Follett's Fall of Giants, I am really enjoying a lot. Thank you for all of you who have encouraged me to pick it up despite its size, which is intimidating. But yes, I am mesmerized by how well he is tying all the characters together. You kind of see little bits, mentions of characters in one section that'll come up in other sections. I find myself wildly unfamiliar with this time frame. As far as, I mean, I've obviously enjoyed Downton Abbey and a couple of those other period pieces, but this just is a massive tome that encourages you to know all the different stratospheres, not just the upstairs, downstairs, but all the in-betweens, the minors, the, so many different people, the immigrants. I'm just really, really enjoying this. I keep wanting to find out more about all the different characters. I am interested to see how the entire trilogy goes. I will continue with this for sure. There are some raunchier bits for some people that kind of made my jaw drop a little bit. I think they make sense for the book as I keep reading along, but I know some people have, yes, there's there's a little bit of steam in here a couple times. Yeah. Next up are some shorter books that I highly recommend. This first one is Chimamanda's Negozi Adiche's Dear Ijewele, or A Feminist Manifesto in 15 Suggestions. This, for me, I only gave 4 stars, but only because I've already wrestled with these topics, concerns as a parent. This is something I've been kind of already journeying on, so I don't feel like there was a lot of new information for me. However, she did a great job of concisely presenting what I think are some really core components of parenting, especially if you're trying to work on raising a feminist. But whether they be female or male, I think these are just great, phenomenal suggestions. It's a very short read. I think it's only 63 pages. But yes, I really appreciated this. The only thing that I even took a little bit of concern with was she said marriage is not an achievement. And I knew what she meant as she had said it. For me, I feel like relationships are work. And so that's kind of an achievement. But it's not as she means it, as to be something that's acquired or like a job or career to land. That's not what I think she means by it. So maybe a slightly different word would have fit me better, but other than that, I mean, this was just a great little book of suggestions, and I highly recommend it if you are a new parent or you're feeling kind of unsure of how to go about this whole parenting thing in a egalitarian, encouraging way for women and men. I think this was just great. So the other one that just knocked my socks off was Ian McEwan's Nutshell. Now, I heard about this listening to the Just the Right Book podcast, and Matthew Dix, who does the Boy versus Girl podcast that I listen to, and he's an author, so I actually picked up one of his books because I hadn't actually read any of his books, which is crazy because I really enjoy listening to him. He had mentioned this book, and the way he talked about it made me immediately want to go pick it up, which is what I did. So Ian McEwan also wrote Atonement, so I knew he was going to have some twists and turns in here. Also, Nutshell is basically a retelling of Hamlet, but in this one, Hamlet is a fetus, or I guess, an unborn child. He's very, very close to the birthing process, but he knows that his mother has had an affair with his uncle. You find this out fairly quickly, I think. So it's not too spoilery. And I think it's even on the book jacket. But he has to figure out how to deal with this information and what can he actually do since he's actually, you know, still in utero. But I love the language in here was just so rich and made me take my time with the words. Some of it I actually read back over even aloud just because I didn't want to miss any of the quick turns of phrases he has. As you can see, this is a library book. I marked it up several times with some Post-its. I wanted to read you a couple of the better the quotes that I really enjoyed. This first one says, I'm owed a handful of decades to try my luck on a freewheeling planet. That's the ride for me, the wall of life. I want my go. I want to become. Put another way, there's a book I want to read, not yet published, not yet written, though a start's been made. And I just thought that was a really neat way of talking about how he's struggling with the whole idea of birthing, but also wondering what to do, knowing that some of the actions of his parental units are going to affect his life when he's out of utero. The other thing I really enjoyed was, let's see. Oh, it's already clear to me how much of life is forgotten even as it happens. Most of it. The unregarded present spooling away from us. The soft tumble of unremarkable thoughts. The long neglected miracle of existence. That just made me stop and gutted me a little bit. Just how many times we've already moved on to the next thing and forgotten just this little bit of life. This is one of the reasons I scrapbook and I try and journal and I try and just drink in memories, because so much of it just gets forgotten like it never happened. And that just made me a little sad, but also made me remember to be very intentional. There's so many great things in here. I loved this book. It's super quick. I think it was, it's 197 pages. And I couldn't put it down because I needed to know what happened. I needed to know everything that happened. I wanted this book to be longer even, but it was amazing to me how much rich storytelling and language and philosophy was packed into these little pages. So highly recommend this one. I really loved it. Also, I wanted to tell you a little bit about the Post-it notes. I watched Problems of a Book Nerd's video called My Reading Progress and Reading Tips and Tricks. And she talks about color coding her Post-it notes, and then if she does borrow the book, she can move them to another book or copy them out later. And this for me was just a light bulb in my head. And I went out and got colored Post-its right away. Funnily enough, one of my children decided that he wanted to do the same thing with his. So I lost pretty much all of my green Post-it flags within a couple hours to a Plants vs. Zombies book. But that's the parenting life, I suppose. So anyway, definitely check out her video. It was very well done. The other thing I've been working on still is, this is my book in my purse bag, John Steinbeck's Travels with Charlie. I know I should probably be done with this by now, but my toddler's been a little bit more fussy on outings lately, so I've had to entertain her a bit more. So I'm seriously enjoying my reading this month. Whether it's not going as quickly as I would like, but I don't really care. So I would love to see what you're reading this week. How's Tome Toplathon going for you? If you want to extend it to the end of August, or the end of August, the end of April, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys are reading. I will talk to you all later. Bye.